My friends, it is time for another Maplestory class interview. Now today, we have a class that many of you are familiar with, in that you get to see this class's gameplay pretty much daily if you're in certain place that I think most of you spend quite a bit of time in. As far as who is going to be here to present that class, I've got good news and I got bad news. It's not the person that you want it to be, but instead it is the person that you need it to be. Today, we will be discussing the ins and outs of what someone called in my chat yesterday, the elf sword lady, I think, were the exact words. So that's right. We are going to be interviewing an ADELE. You've been asking for it. Everyone's been asking for it. And we got the man, the myth, the legend, CHUAZ. Yo.
Yo, what's good? What's up, Mr. Charlotte?
Bro? How we doing?
We're doing good. We're doing good.
Someone said the actual good ADELE. Oh no.
Yeah, Jake couldn't be here, so y'all got an upgrade. It's all good. No, I'm joking, of course.
Oh man. Yeah, I mean it's all good. We maybe we can phone a friend and get him in here at the end to no, I'm just kidding.
Maybe.
No, we're good. Honestly, I'm pretty pumped for this one. I did like a tiny little bit of research. Someone showed me some stuff about this class like a while back, and the little bit that I know about it is like very cool.
Yeah, for sure. It is. For sure, yes. I mean, I don't want to reveal anything for now because I'll get. There's a lot of stuff to go over today, buddy. There's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, sure.
We'll definitely get into the ins and outs of the class.
Yes.
Yeah.
Damn, that's a nice tree you got there.
Oh yeah. It's the 1 billion meso tree.
What? Wait, 1 billion? Oh, like that. Like you sit in a chair or something, and then it like, oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
It feeds money into like a seed or a plant or something.
Yeah, and then it transforms? That's what it transforms into?
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. That's pretty cool. There's a monkey in it. That's the best part. So, I mean, you know what I'm going to ask you to do at first. Let's see some cool shit that ADELE can do.
Okay. So, I was like thinking about it for a little bit. Because like I was like, what is cool about this class? And at the end of the day, I came to the conclusion. I was like, it's the coolest thing about this class is probably what brought me to the class in the first place, and that's its aesthetics.
Okay.
So let me go into the dojo real quick. So like, think about it this way. Like, think about ADELE. Like, it's this like. Because I read the storyline, by the way. Like, this is the second class I ever made. Like, I went through the entire story. So like, think about it this way. Like, ADELE is like this magical, like majestic fallen knight who has like returned from the void. You know, recalling her memories. Someone who can like control swords with magical ether and stuff. So if that doesn't sound like insane to you, then I don't know what does. Here, let me summon a boss. So like, the first thing is like we can summon out swords like this. So we have 6 swords that come out and they like attack like monsters and stuff. So they just fly around by themselves. And I think this is also unique to ADELE, but if you look at our main attack, it actually has 3 different animations. So that one was the Hexa cleave, but like the regular one has like different animations. They all have the same hitbox.
Oh, yeah, okay.
They're different animations as well.
Okay.
So yeah, so we can summon swords. And then the coolest thing about it is like our burst. So I press infinity. And then like fuck ton more swords pop out. Bro. The background music changes, the background changes, and then if we want to summon this massive sword from the sky, we can do that too with Ruin, even though it does no damage. We'll get into that later. And then we have Shardbreaker. This skill just like explodes ether everywhere. And then we have Storm like creates like swords all around you and shit. And then if we want to like bloom the swords, we can. They can like spin around. And then our origins, like if you watch Bleach, it's like our Bankai Senbon Sakura Kageyoshi like type shit. And we pop the origin. like all these swords come out and just nukes the entire boss. You know what I mean? Like, nah, this class just looks. It's just a sick class. You know what I mean? So that's the cool shit. Like, if that doesn't look awesome and you're like, damn, I want to play that shit, then I don't know. I can't change your mind at this point. Like, you can click off at this point. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. So that's cool. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it all looks amazing. It looks really, really, really great.
Yeah.
I mean, as to how it actually performs, we'll talk about that later. But yeah, so far you got me like I'm on the hook. You know what I mean? Now you just got to reel me in.
That was the point.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
For sure.
Okay, before we get into it, let's talk about you and your Maplestory journey. So, like, what got you started playing the game? How long ago was that? What kind of personal accomplishments have you gotten since you started?
Sure. So, like most people, I guess, maybe, I got introduced to Maplestory like years ago when I was like 7.
Okay.
I was visiting my cousins in Singapore and I saw them play Maple, and then they introduced me to Maple back then. I still remember hitting like monsters on Ghost Ship, which was a map called Singapore, which was an area that they've removed from GMS since then, unluckily. But from then now until like 2018, 2019, I didn't play Maplestory at all, basically. But yeah, in senior year of high school, one of my friends actually was playing Maple, and he brought me back into the game. And I wasn't grinding too hard back then, but the first class I actually played was an Angelic Buster, and I don't know why. I think he just said it's like the top of the damage class at that point. So I was like, okay, I'll play it. But and then after I graduated high school, went to university, I was still playing Maplestory like on and off. And like the funny thing about me, like, I was pretty much like, you know, a stereotypical college kid. So like my uni didn't have any frats or anything, but you know, I like to go out, you know, party, socialize, whatever and stuff. So the people that I hung out with like had that similar vibe. So whenever like I was in my dorm room or something and my roommates came in or my friends came in, they saw me playing this like weird ass 2D game with a character that's like all pink and shit. It has this high pitched like, you know, like ass voice line. Like they're all like, "What, yo, what the fuck are you even playing?" So it was like at that point I was like, maybe I should find a new main. So I went and I looked at a bunch of videos on YouTube, and I was literally just looking for straight up aesthetics, and then like, yeah, so I came across ADELE. So now I'm an ADELE main. So it's the second class that I ever made.
Damn. Okay.
And in terms of accomplishments, how do I describe this? I guess when I started playing ADELE, I wanted to document my journey in terms of like progression and bossing. So one of the things that I like to do is like when it comes to bossing, I like to min clear bosses. I like to go in when I have the damage to do bosses. Like I love practicing bosses and like running it down.
Yeah.
So I would basically post all these solo clears onto YouTube. And then eventually it was like around when I got to like soloing C10E, when I had the damage for that, one of my friends was like, hey, like you kind of got hands. And I'm like, what the fuck is that? And I didn't know what that was at the time. And he's like, yeah, you're actually like pretty good at playing the class. And I was like, okay, that's cool. And then it wasn't until my Black Mage solo journey, which was like a 2-month long journey from knowing nothing to soloing it, people started noticing like, hey, this guy actually like knows how to play the class. So I think I was the second recorded ADELE to solo Black Mage unliberated, and that was like before 6 job for everything. Yeah, and then after that, my next accomplishment was soloing Hard Saren unliberated as well. I think I was the first recorded ADELE to do it. And then after that, I started posting like Kalos, you know, X Lotus. And then my friend and I were bantering about like, oh, what's like the lowest converted ADELEs can do for X Lotus? So I figured that out. So I think I hold the lowest converted solo for ADELEs right now at 81.8k converted. It's probably lower now with M3 and 4, but that's a different topic. And then recently I soloed normal culling, so that's pretty cool. And then, yeah, in terms of party bossing, I've done H Limbo, H culling. X Kalos I haven't done yet, but I haven't really been pushing to search for a party, but my friend just got me into one, so we'll see how that goes sometime next week, so we'll see. But yeah, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, and that's why people are saying like ADELE with hands or whatever. So yeah.
Okay. So all of that stuff, is that still like active on your YouTube that people could go watch if they wanted to?
Yes, yeah, all of it is on YouTube.
All right. Hell yeah. Dope. All right. I love it.
Yep.
Let's get into it then. I love that you got shamed out of playing. I played when I was living in residence in university as well. I had something similar happen. I was playing a lot of World of Warcraft, and yeah, all of my friends would like come find me to go drinking, and I'd be like mid raid.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't remember what class I was playing at the time, but they basically like made fun of what I was playing or like what I was wearing or something, and then I started like actually shopping around to like make my character look cooler.
Peer pressured into like swapping off of AB.
Yeah, I feel that. It's all good. They'll never understand what it's like to be a real nerd, you know?
Facts. True. Yes.
Yeah, all good. All right, so let's get into it then. Let's start off by talking about ADELE's burst damage rotation. So, talk me through it. What's it like bursting with the class?
Okay, so before we begin, I'm about to throw like a lot of information at you. So like ADELE is like a pretty complicated class for a beginner, but like you'll get used to it over time. But like at the start, there's a lot going on. So like if you have any questions, like feel free to interrupt me like midway through.
Yeah, no, I will for sure. I will.
Info dumping, basically. Let me just turn on like the buffs for now, and then whatever. It doesn't really matter as long as I have green pot, really. Okay, so before we begin, I like to describe ADELE as a jack of all trades, master of none type class. Like we'll get into more what that means in like the different sections, but like it's basically really good at everything, but not the best at anything. Like it does everything you want it to do, but it's not to like a super high like standard, basically. So ADELE's burst. So what do we have? We have the first thing that you need to know about ADELE's burst is our fourth job skill called Grave Proclamation. So there's basically 4 things that ADELE needs to micromanage in any boss fight. So the first one is Grave Proclamation. So basically when I cast this skill, it marks the boss with this thing here. So this thing automatically gives us 10% IAD debuff on the boss. And not only that, it will direct our swords, our infinity swords, shard breaker, and a skill called magic dispatch. All that will be directed to the boss. So this is super useful for like calling, let's say like in P3 when there's 4 different bosses in there, you want to target one of them, you mark it with this. Or like maybe Vihilla, like instead of hitting the little things on the floor, like you mark Vihilla with this thing, and it will target Vihilla instead.
Will it only go on one target at a time?
Yes. So it will, if I put it on another target, it will disappear. But the thing that a lot of ADELEs don't know you can do is you can actually remove it by pressing the button again. So if you want to remove it, you can. Just saying. So we have that. So this is really easy to manage because you should, whenever you enter a boss, the first thing you do is you apply this. So this will last on the boss forever until either the boss phases or you die. So like, let's say Saren, for example, if it phases from noon to sunset, you have to reapply it to the sunset Saren. And then same thing for dawn, right? So every time a boss phases, it will disappear. You have to reapply it. If you die, you also have to reapply it, basically. And that's it. It stays on the boss permanently other than that. So you enter a boss, put that on, you're good to go. Second thing that we have to micromanage is Resonance Rush. So this is our dash skill. So you use this skill whenever there's a crystal available, which is this thing over here. So when I press the skill, it will dash to the crystal. And if I hit something along that path, I get this this buff here, right here. This gives us 10% IAD and 10% final damage. So this is huge. This you need to upkeep at all times. Now the thing about this is that it used to be 2 stacks. So it used to be I had to, when I entered a boss, I had to do it once. And then I had to wait for another crystal to spawn and then do it again, which was horrible. So that's why like ADELE was like super notorious for having really long setup. I mean, it's still like pretty bad, but like it's very manageable now, especially with sequence. But in the upcoming KMST updates, this buff gets pushed to a passive, so you don't even have to worry about this anymore. So they're removing the uptime completely, which is really nice. So this is super easy because when you're fighting in a boss, like you will use Resonance Rush like a lot. Basically, like I use it all the time because one of the important things about ADELE is to stay on top of the boss. So like I will always be using it. I'll be always dashing on top of the boss, always hitting the boss. So that buff is just always there. So it's something that you can also keep in the back of your mind. It's not something you need to think about constantly, really.
Okay.
And then the third thing is Noble Summons. So Noble Summons is what draws our swords back to us. So I'm probably going to refer this to as Gather for the rest of the interview because that's what it does. It gathers all the swords back to us.
Okay.
Right? So this gives this debuff right here, if you can see it, this one. It's a little bit harder to see if you don't have 6 job. It's like this white thing, but like it looks a lot better in 6 job. But this gives 10% IED. And another reason why like you shouldn't really be worrying about this one too much as well is because there are 2 skills that you'll be casting off cooldown. I mean, there's more than that, but there's 2 main skills that you'll be casting off cooldown. And that is the Noble Summons, the Gather, and the Ether Bloom. So Gather Bloom is a big combo that ADELEs will use all the time. So basically, this is why we need to play on top of the boss, because right now we need to stand on top of the boss, gather the swords to us, and then bloom on top of the boss to get maximum damage, right?
Okay.
So if you're always doing that and you're always casting this stuff off cooldown, this debuff will never go away, basically.
Okay.
Right. So another thing that you don't really have to think about. Now, the main thing that you do have to think about is our gauge.
Okay.
So this thing, right? Let me fill it up real quick. So there's 3 swords in it. So why is this gauge important, first of all? So this will allow us to summon swords, first of all. So if it's empty, I won't be able to summon anything, right? So when I summon swords, it comes out of the gauge. And also, it affects this skill called Ether Forge. So Ether Forge, if you read the skill, a lot of people can't read, but if you read the skill, it says attack 1 time per Ether Sword. So what does that mean? It means that it does damage based on how many swords are in this gauge. So if I have 1 sword, it's doing less damage, 2 swords, it's doing more damage, and then once I reach 3 swords, it's hitting maximum damage, right?
Okay.
So a fun little fact that you can see on full opacity are the swords behind me. So these swords actually represent Ether Forge. So if I were to hit the boss right now, and you'll see these swords fly out and create the Ether Forge like this. Like, I don't know if you can see it really well, but you can see like it disappeared for a moment. It's because they're all casted out, because that's Ether Forge, right? So, and Ether Forge is triggered by something called trigger skills, which I'll get into in a sec, but that's basically why it's important. So now the next question is, because a lot of ADELEs are like, is there an easier way to summon out swords? Because like, can I like macro it with cleave and then like I can just press cleave and summon swords at the same time? So that's the answer to why that's a bad idea, is because you won't have any swords in the gauge. Ether Forge will be doing no damage, and this skill is like 5 to 6% FD in our overall rotation. So if you play with an empty gauge, you're playing minus 5 FD. So that's just not good.
Okay.
Yeah. So as you can see, I'm hitting the boss and it's filling up. So it fills up because of my trigger skills. And we have 2 trigger skills basically that we use. The first one is Cleave. This is our main attack skill for both bossing and mobbing, which is really nice. It's really convenient.
Okay.
And then the second one is Plummet. So Plummet is this skill that basically like brings me back to the ground. It's sort of like Ho Young's skill, like that. So trigger skills will proc Ether Forge and fill up the gauge, basically. Right.
Got it.
So now how do we manage that? Because I have to summon swords and also have max damage for Ether Forge, right? So how do I have a full gauge and also maintain 6 swords? So if you notice, there's this blue bar on the bottom. So when I summon a sword with this blue bar filled up, it takes it from the blue bar. So this maintains 3 swords in the gauge. So if I summon 6 swords out and the gauge gets filled up, I will have 3 swords max for Ether Forge and 6 swords out. So whenever this gauge gets filled up on the bottom, I just press it and summon a sword out. And when it fills up, press it and summon a sword out. So it's really that simple, to be honest.
Okay.
Right? So, yeah, so basically you only want to summon swords when this gauge down here is full. But there's one caveat to this, and the caveat is that when we first enter a boss, we have to spam out 6 swords. Like, it's a force move. Like, there's nothing we can do about it. So at the beginning of the burst, your damage might be slightly lower, but that is sort of rectified by this skill called Legacy Restoration, which is one of our buffs for our burst. So basically what this skill does is it allows us to summon out an 8th sword. So currently when I press Hunting Decree, which is this, which summons the sword out, it summons 2 swords at a time. So when I press it 3 times, I get 6. And then when I summon this skill, I press it 1 more time, I get 8. And then also this skill increases the amount of ether generated from trigger skills. So when we prep our burst by summoning all 6 swords out and then press Legacy Restoration, this gauge will fill up really fast anyway. So it's fine. Really, it's fine. And then every subsequent burst after that, it should be okay because this gauge should be full all the time.
Okay, wait, so hold on.
Another thing
so every time you're summoning swords, you're summoning 2 at once?
Yes. So when I press Hunting Decree to summon swords, 2 swords will fly out.
Okay. So like
Yes.
one sword of the gauge ends up being 2 swords.
Basically, yes.
Yeah, okay, got it.
So it's really small, but like I keep track of that by having Hunting Decree on my hotbar here.
Mm-hmm.
So it tells me how many swords are out right now. So it's really damn small, but it says 4. I don't know, you probably can't see it on stream, but like trust me, there's a number down there.
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, you can also see it up here on the buff bar, but like it moves. So like I just look at here, like my eyes just like lock onto this point to see how many swords I have basically. So
okay.
Yeah. All right. So with that out of the way, if that wasn't super confusing or whatnot, then we can move on. Yeah. So how does our burst work? So obviously, when you enter a boss, it will be Great Proclamation and then instantly Resonance Rush to get damage, the damage buff here. And after that, summon out 6 swords. And then, actually, I should probably talk about the sequence. So the sequence that I use is this one up here. This is the main 3-minute. We're a 3-minute class, by the way.
Okay.
So every 3 minutes, this is the one I'll use. This is a common skill. The average 10% buff. This is a common skill. This is our Legacy Restoration. This is a survivability thing. I can get into this in a second. This is an average skill. This is AB and then Roar. So the thing is, if you have a Roar 4, you do not put it in the sequence. And the reason for this is because Storm, even though it says duration 14 seconds, can actually extend to like 17, 18 seconds. Okay. So it's more optimal to cast Storm before casting Roar 4. But I do have a Roar 5, so I stuck it on the sequence. Okay. And then, so this skill, True Nobility, basically when you take damage, it creates a shield that can tank more damage for you later. So like, think about Damien, you know that sword thing that gets stuck into the ground? If I have this thing on, I can just sit in it without doing anything, basically. Okay. So it's a pretty nice survivability skill. And also, one of our hyper skills is this. It's called True Nobility Shield Reinforce. So basically, if there's a shield present, you get an extra 15% damage. So sometimes when you see me bossing, I don't iframe and I just tank a hit just to proc the shield to get extra 15% damage. Okay. Yeah. So that's what this does, basically. Other than that, it doesn't really do anything. So, yeah. So Great Proclamation, right? So let's say you come in with a full gauge. She's always coming with a full gauge. Yep. And also, I forgot to mention 2 toggles.
Can you generate gauge without hitting like just by just swinging your sword like before you go into a boss?
No.
Oh.
So you have to hit something. Like the trigger skills has to hit like something to generate ether. It does generate passively, but it's like really, really slow. Okay. So like it's you if you went into the boss with an empty gauge, you'd be sitting there for a long time with an empty gauge.
Yeah, okay.
Or like if you're trying to prep gauge outside the boss and you thought like it would just fill up automatically, like it's like it's gonna take forever, right? So normally I would go into like a map and just hit mobs and fill it up. So like a lot of times when I switch characters and then I come back to the ADELE for like party bossing, I have to tell my party like, hey, I'm filling up my swords for a second. Give me like 30 seconds. Yeah. So yeah, that's what that means. Okay. So yeah, all right. Great Proclamation, Resonance Rush debuff or buff. 3 swords are out, and then I press sequence. Summon the 8th sword and then Infinity. So don't forget to summon that 8th sword after casting the sequence because of Legacy Restoration. So after that, once the sequence comes out, then Storm, Ruin, Shardbreaker, Gather Bloom instantly. And then our skill Rain of Destruction, which is this orange thing over here, which is a summon, I guess, but it's not affected by summon duration. And then after that, you can cast Origin to finish it off. So,
okay.
after casting the Origin, once you come back, you instantly gather Bloom again. So normally that would have been an Aurora, but I was like, like explaining a bunch of things. But I didn't cast Shardbreaker, but yeah. So Shardbreaker will come on the boss like that. So yeah, you cast all of this: Ace Sword, Storm, Gather Bloom, Ruin Shardbreaker, this one, and then this skill, and then Origin. So the reason why I like to cast all my other skills before Origin is because they all hit the boss while the Origin is going on, right?
Yep.
So, and it also just keeps my skills like more aligned in terms of cooldown for the next burst, the next off Origin burst, basically. So I cast everything and then Origin. So another thing that I like to do before I Origin is also cast an extra cleave, because it's the big cleave, it's the Giga Cleave, the Hexa Cleave.
Yep.
So it has a cooldown of 5 seconds. So I cast Hexa Cleave, Origin, and then once I'm out of Origin, I cast Hexa Cleave again. So it's like I sandwich the Origin with Hexa Cleaves, right?
Yeah.
So one thing I need to note is the hat. So there's a lot of debate about what cooldown hat you want to have, basically. So there's stat hat, right? And then there's -2, -4. -3 is basically useless. -1s are basically like a useless line.
Okay.
So yeah, the reason why I have a -4 is because of Roar 4. Basically, the whole point is to fit in 2 Gather Blooms inside of the Roar duration.
Okay.
So that's why I have a -4. You can also do it with a -2. It's just it's a tighter window for you to cast the skills.
Yep, makes sense.
So, and -4 is also really good for Culvert, but that's a different story. And I also like really playing Adele on a -4 because the playstyle is just really, really, really aggressive. Because if you play on a -4 and you're not casting these 2 skills off cooldown, it's a waste. So if you're like a newer Adele, you'd probably be better off running a stat hat or at least like a -2 to prevent like bursts drifting over time in terms of cooldowns. But yeah, if you can play on top of the boss and you can gather Bloom off cooldown all the time, -4 I think is just the way to go. I really love playing with a -4, basically.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, so I guess our burst lasts for 30 seconds. So you would cast everything, and then after Roar ends, you just keep hitting the boss and then gather Bloom off cooldown. And yeah, that's our burst, basically.
Okay. Now there's 2
So
skills that you talked about in there.
Sequence. Yeah.
I'm trying to look at what keys they're on. I think you said like ruin and something.
Ruin and Shardbreaker, yes.
Ruin and
so it's this
Shardbreaker,
skill,
okay.
Shardbreaker and Ruin. So these are 60-second skills.
Oh, okay.
So you're going to be casting both of these off cooldown every 60 seconds, and then Storm is a 90-second skill.
And they're all just like damage dealers, basically.
Yes.
Okay.
And so these are considered our mini burst. Storm, Ruin, and Shardbreaker. Storm, not really.
Okay.
And the funny thing about Ruin is that I think there's like 12 different skills that we use to do damage to the boss. This skill does the least amount of damage out of all of them.
Okay.
Over a full rotation. Yeah. So it's really bad right now, but it gets giga buffed come 2-minute changes. So Adele's eating 2-minute changes, by the way.
Okay. Okay, big.
Yeah.
So I mean, okay, so obviously I assume 2-minute changes, they're gonna all 3 of them are gonna line up. The 90 seconds gonna become a 60.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
But for now, you just send them all like on cooldown, basically?
Yep. So basically everything gets casted off cooldown.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, everything. Yeah. So our burst is strong. Like we have a strong burst. It's not weak by any means.
Yeah.
Especially our origin. Our origin's really good. So if I were to rate it, I think I'd put it at like an A.
Okay.
Like it's really strong. It's above average, but it's nothing like Kane or Night Lord or like any of the burst classes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's really strong.
Okay.
Like as I said, jack of all trades. It's good, but it's not like the best at anything. Right?
Yeah.
So yeah, really good bursts. Very reliable bursts. Yeah.
Dope. All right, fair enough. Okay, let's talk about the DPM then. So like, what's going on when you don't have all your cooldowns?
So off burst.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah. So off bursts, there are a few things that we have to manage constantly. So I guess Rune Shardbreaker, right, gets casted off cooldown basically every 60 seconds. Storm gets casted off cooldown every 90 seconds. But if you're a sweaty ADELE, basically there's this skill called Magic Dispatch. Now there's two of them. There's a toggle and there's a manual one. So I have it binded here. So the toggle and the manual one are on two different cooldowns, right? So this is always proccing when I have the toggle on, and then whenever this is off cooldown, I just press it. So when I press it, it summons these swords out right here. So those actually do more damage
swords?
than yeah, like little tiny ass swords, like these little things. Yeah. So those actually do more damage than like a regular cleave. So it's worth casting it off cooldown.
Okay.
But if you're a beginner ADELE, it's not something that you need to worry about, to be honest.
Okay.
Like, you can just ignore it. If you're just playing it like, I don't know, like a boss mule, like I wouldn't bother with this. But if you're going all out, like, yes,
yeah,
you would be casting this off cooldown. And it's a very short cooldown, by the way. It's only like, I think 6 seconds. Yeah. And I have cooldown skip as well, so I'm casting it all the time, basically. That's one thing.
Okay.
The next thing is Rain of Destruction, right? This is our summon.
Mm-hmm.
So this is on like, I think a 30-second cooldown. Yeah, but like, yeah, it's a 30-second cooldown skill. Basically off cooldown. Again, you just cast that shit off cooldown.
Mm-hmm.
Just pops it down, right? And then the other thing is Gather Bloom. So this is the most important part about ADELE. This is what most people forget to do. Like most ADELEs forget to cast these off cooldown. So like, let's say I'm DPSing the boss. I'm hitting it. Gather Bloom. I'm hitting it. Maybe I dash in to like keep the buff up, right?
Yep.
And then press Magic Dispatch by myself. And then once Gather Bloom's off cooldown, press it again. So this is what our DPS looks like. Basically holding down cleave and casting everything off cooldown.
Yep.
So Magic Dispatch off cooldown, Gather Bloom off cooldown again, right? And then when 60 seconds comes up, AB, oh, that's my roar as well, but AB and Ruin Shardbreaker. And then when the 90 seconds comes up, Storm, Gather Bloom, Magic Dispatch. Basically the same thing. So you'll do that for 3 minutes until burst is back up again.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's a couple short cooldowns. It's like making
Yeah.
sure that you just keep summoning the swords whenever you have like the full meter.
Yeah,
Full
so
gauge?
whenever this meter at the bottom is full, just tap it.
Yep.
And yeah, make sure you have 6 swords out.
I assume it just like
At all
it just
times.
like overrides, like the most recent two override the oldest two.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes. Yeah, it will just override it.
Okay.
So that's basically our offers. Yeah,
And
it's
how does
not
it
too bad.
perform in terms of damage?
So like the DPS is really good as well because these swords do a lot of damage and they're just auto, right? Like you don't have to do anything for these swords. So the main thing that's
yeah.
like
I like
really
that.
affects our DPS is yeah. So the main thing that really affects our DPS is how often you can gather bloom off cooldown and how many cleaves you get off. Basically,
Okay.
that's like it. So if you can do everything really well, like not even perfectly, but like really well, I'd still say this is like an A off burst as well.
Okay.
Like again, it's nothing like DA or like 0 or something like the DPS classes, but it's very, very strong if you just cast these stuff off cooldown. Like that's it.
Yeah.
And Shardbreaker does a lot of damage. Like actually, I can talk a little bit about Shardbreaker right now.
Okay.
So Shardbreaker is kind of interesting. So let me remove Grave Proclamation from the boss. So if I remove it from the boss, what happens with Shardbreaker is that one shard will appear on the boss and the other ones will just be dispersed, right? Which is bad because we only hit like 1 out of 9 shards. So if you saw earlier when I had the boss marked, like all of the shards were on top of the boss, right? So all the shards gather in the boss and it does a lot of damage. But there's one thing, this is kind of niche. I think the best boss to show this is probably Kalos, but there's something called Shardbreaker tech. It's kind of outdated now because of the change to Grave Proclamation, sending all the shards to the boss. But there's a thing called Shardbreaker tech, and before that change happened, like what we would do is we will wait for the boss to either TP or dash, and then cast Shardbreaker. So like, let's say this guy right here is the boss, right? And then he's dashing towards me. So what I would do is I would cast Shardbreaker. One shard would appear on where he was previously, but then all 8 or 7 of the other shards would appear where his dash ends. So it does a lot of damage. Okay. So the thing about it is, if you manage to land a Shardbreaker tech right now, it's actually more damage than marking the boss. So in Kalos, for example, like let's say I'm up here, like I'm trying to get a Shardbreaker tech. So if I was trying to set up a Shardbreaker tech, it would be up here. And then I TP and then I cast it here. So as you can see, like all the shards, like I kind of mistimed it there, like half the shards missed. But like that's how you would do it. So the boss would TP and then you cast Shardbreaker, and then more shards will spawn in at full damage rather than half. Off or Shardbreaker teching the boss basically. But,
wait, we lost you there for a second. That was crazy.
Oh,
you get
did I lag out?
Yeah, you got Shardbreaker IRL. That was crazy.
Shardbreaker IRL. Yeah, I mean I can show it again. So basically what I was saying is that if you manage to hit a Shardbreaker tech with all shards hitting the boss, it does more damage than hitting the boss with Shardbreaker when it's marked.
Yeah, okay.
So like this is very, very niche because you would never ever wait for like the boss to do something to Shardbreaker tech him.
So this is because when you Shardbreaker with the mark on the boss, it spawns less shards, or it spawns them with less damage?
Yeah. It spawns less shards at slightly more damage.
Okay.
But the less shards overall, like it's less damage.
Yeah, okay.
Overall, basically.
Got it.
But if I were to cast it, if the boss, because when the boss TPs, he's not on the map anymore. So when I cast it, the shards don't know what to hit. So they just spread out, basically.
Like around you?
And when they spread out, yeah, like around my area.
Okay.
So, and it spawns all the shards at maximum damage. So it will do more damage than hitting the boss with the mark, basically. Yeah. So this is niche because you're not supposed to wait for the cooldown or the boss to TP and then like let this cooldown simmer for a really long time. Otherwise it will misalign with like your other 60-second skill. So you will want to always cast it off cooldown, but if you do notice that the boss is about to TP or something, then it will be worth to try teching the boss, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's one thing about Shardbreaker in our DPS, but like that's like a super niche case, super sweaty, like no one's ever gonna do this realistically, like this. So that's how it looks like.
Yeah,
like all the shards
it.
spawn in, and then it does a lot more damage. I think it's like 50% more damage for a Shardbreaker if you do that.
Okay.
But yeah. But if you were to do it while he's just sitting here, it's like half the shards at like a slightly more damage per shard, basically.
Yeah.
But it's not the same.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's like sweaty, like if you're really trying to like min-max the class.
Yeah, like super sweaty. Like let's say I'm like an X Lotus, I'm min clearing, it's P3, and I notice like, okay, I think to myself, I'm like, okay, X Lotus is about to TP.
Yeah.
I will run to the corner, I'll run to the wall, stand, like let's say like this is X Lotus, right? He's about to TP and return to this position. I'll run to the corner here, so all of my shards will like spawn like right here when he comes back in, and it will do a lot of damage. So for those are the type of things that you could think about if you're like super sweaty, but like if not, then you don't have to think about it, basically. But
okay,
yeah, just a quick point.
Okay, cool. Extra tech, I like it. I bet you, I guarantee there are ADELE players out there who are like, oh, I didn't know that, and now they're gonna start trying it. So, W. All right, let's talk about your mobility then. So, what kind of stuff you got in that kit to move you around?
Okay, mobility is really good on ADELE. So, and again, like jack of all trades, master of none. Like this, the mobility is super good, but it's not. And the only reason why it's bad is because each one of our mobility skills has this slight animation delay. Okay. So like, let's say like there's a crystal here. Like if I were to dash to it, you'll see my character freeze for like half a second. Like, see how it's just like sitting there for like a tiny bit of time. Same thing with our teleport. This is a teleport. Feather float, so it goes backwards at an angle. So that's a true teleport. And it can go through like, I don't know, like BM lasers in P1 or something like that. So, but as you can see, like there's a slight delay at the start there as well.
Yep.
And then also we have floats, our high rise. So the great thing about this skill is that you can attack while you're in the air, unlike blink. So if you were to blink, you can't attack, but with float, like you can actually attack. So I think like the best map to show it is actually Kalos P2. Let me just go burst down P1 real quick.
So you need those like, you need these like nodes to dash to.
Yes. But the thing about it is that they will spawn in automatically for the most part.
Yep.
Like some skills, like Sharpbreaker, you can see like generates up to 7 ether crystals. Let's see, like like in the skill description, it will say like 5% chance to spawn crystal, 20% chance to spawn crystal. But if you want to force spawn a crystal, you use Impale. So this skill. So if I press Impale, like it puts a crystal out here.
Got it.
So the good thing about the crystals is that it actually will lock you to the platform. Like it will lock me onto this platform per se, right? So also, if you cast Impale manually and you chain it with the dash, with the rush, wherever it is, the rush, it will allow you to travel further distances. Like let's say like I put a crystal over here, right? Like I can't reach it just by jumping. Like I'll have to like full jump and then go up to it. But like if I'm over here and I chain it with rush, I will travel the whole distance and it will lock me up to this platform, which is super useful in Kalos, right? So that's one thing.
Do you have to put them on platforms?
No. So like, let's say a crystal could be like right here. Oh, I guess that's not a really good example, but like I'm gonna try to put the crystal like sort of off the platform. Like there, no, that doesn't really do it either. But like, let's say it was like slightly off. Like if I went to the crystal, it would still lock me to this platform. Like you'll see it happen, which is pretty good.
Okay, but can you put it like if you're at the top platform, can you put the crystal like above you to just go up to the air or no?
Yes. So the crystal has, it's omnidirectional. It's 8 directions. So if I press like up arrow and left key, it will send it diagonally like that.
Okay.
So one thing that I also like doing is like I can put a crystal up, dash to it, and then I can still flash jump as well. So if I use a crystal to get up into the air, like I can flash jump. Like let's say like this crystal right here, if I go to this, I can flash jump. Or that, see, that locked me onto the platform there, by the way.
Yeah.
But sometimes crystals, like when they spawn in like slightly above the ground. So like you can dash and then jump after. So it's pretty nice if you want to move fast as well. But let's get Kalos to TP up to a platform. So let's say he's up here, right? You don't want to play on the same platform as Kalos. So I can just float here and attack him with my high rise skill. Yeah. So this skill lasts for 2 seconds, but I can just keep doing it.
Oh, there's no cooldown on it?
And then feather float backward. No, there isn't. Damn, so another thing about that skill is that you can cancel it. So if I do this and like press my jump key, it cancels. Okay. So if I want to use it as
so you don't have to hold it while you're, it's not like blink, you don't have to hold it the whole time you're hovering.
Yeah, so I can just cancel it midway by pressing my jump key again, basically. Or you can press the high rise skill, like, oh my god, I just keep dying. You can press this skill again to cancel it, but let me just leave the boss. Like I've shown the Hexa stuff in there. So yeah, basically like you can press this skill again to cancel it, but I find that to be, there's like a slight delay to it. So I like pressing my jump key instead. Yeah. To cancel it. That's a momentum stop, and also you can attack with it, whatever and whatnot, and then you can chain it into blink if you want. So I'm holding blink and it'll just instantly go into blink. So if you need like extended duration, you can do that. And then the other momentum stopper is plummet. So this is like Ho-Young's rock skill or whatever that brings him to the ground. Yep. Stops momentum, brings you to the ground instantly. So this is really good. Like X Lotus P2, if I'm trying to control position, this is what I would use to like keep myself. Like let's say I want to jump, flash jump really fast, I just plummet like this. Okay. And it just stops me right there. So a super good movement skill, and it does damage. It procs Ether Forge. fills gauge a little bit. Like this is a really, really, really good skill. Like I think this is one of the skills that I use probably most often
Yeah.
in a boss fight. So another practical thing for movements, let me go into, let's see, like X Lotus or something. So more tips, I guess, for rush. So let's say I am like dodging chains or whatever, right? So like I'd be dodging chains this way, and then I can do this and then come back to the boss. So like Lotus is pretty big in P1, but P2 he's like smaller. So if I really wanted to come back to him, like that would be, you know, more useful, I guess.
Yeah.
And then let's say I'm like over here, I'm floating. Oh, I can just go to this crystal and come back.
Yeah.
Right. So one of the things that I always look out for in bossing are my crystals.
Yep.
Wherever they are, I'm always taking like a mental note of like exactly where they are, so I know that, oh, if just in case I need to dodge something, oh, I have that crystal there. If I need to do some movement, oh, I have this crystal over there, you know, type shit. So like, oh, I can dodge that by dashing away. Or yeah, so
if you have a whole bunch of crystals down, how do I word this? If you have a whole bunch of crystals down, do you ever accidentally, like, does the game ever like not read your mind in that it takes you to like the wrong crystal?
Yes, a lot. Sometimes it does do that. Yeah.
Okay.
So there have been times where that has happened, and then like you'll hear me say like, "God damn it! Like it went to the wrong crystal." But the thing about it is, if you chain Impale and Rush together, it will ignore crystals currently on the map. So let's say like there's this crystal here.
Yep.
But if I were to chain it, it will go past the crystal.
Okay.
Things like that, right?
Yeah.
So that's how you would ignore crystals. But like if they're close together, like let's say there's one like right here, and then there's one like on Lotus, and then I'm like here or something. Like there is a chance that it will send me up to him instead of like going off to the side.
Yeah. Okay.
There's a small chance that might happen, but like I don't think I've been punished for it too hard yet.
Okay.
But yeah. So another thing that I want to show. Vihila is a good one for this. So this is about like bringing yourself back to the boss, basically, because you want to stay on top of the boss. So the whole thing about our movement kit and impaling and rushing is to keep ourselves on top of the boss. Like that's the main important thing. And the thing about that is, like, whenever we're attacking the boss, there's always going to be a crystal, like, where the boss is. Because all the skills are hitting it, there's guaranteed going to be a crystal to spawn on top of the boss. So if you were to leave the boss, there's always a crystal there to return to.
Okay.
But what I wanted to show was this. So let's say I get grabbed and flung, like, I can dash like this. And that you can only do that with a chained rush, by the way. Like if there was like a crystal here and I get kicked all the way that far, like I won't be able to reach the crystal. I'm gonna die. Oh no. But okay, I didn't get dashed far enough there, but like you can see the distance that I can dash is actually quite insane. Like, it's really, really long. So let's see. Like it's almost half the map.
Yeah.
If you chain them together. So super useful skill, super fun. But again, there's that one caveat where there's like a slight delay to it, right?
Yeah.
And that's like something that you get used to over time. Like this is the second class that I ever made, so it's just been ingrained in me this whole time.
Yeah, for sure.
But like new ADELEs, if they've played other classes, they're like, God damn, like this class is so clunky. Like I can't play this class. Like that's their biggest complaint right there, basically.
Okay. All right.
So you can dash 8 directions and all that. So yeah.
So give me a ranking for your mobility overall then.
I'd still think I'd put it at an S tier.
Okay.
To be honest, we just have so many options in a boss. Like if I'm up in the air and then like, oh, there's something hitting me, the ground is dangerous, I can just dash like this.
Yeah.
To the side, and then if I needed to go further, like I could just dash and then feather float backwards.
Yep.
Oh yeah, speaking of feather float, another useful thing is for Saren. So you can combine flash jump with the feather float, so which is really, really, really useful for getting over the banana. So let's see if she throws a banana at me. So yeah, here comes the banana. I can jump and then do this, so it goes over the banana completely.
Okay.
Right? So that's really, really useful for, yeah. So let's say like, oh, like I'm jumping around and then like that.
Yep.
Yeah. So it can just like fly over the banana.
Okay.
So ADELE has like a lot of movement options, for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems pretty crazy.
So I think I'd put it at an S tier for sure. Like, especially if you learn to pay attention to like the crystal availability on the map, you can definitely just go anywhere you want, really.
Okay, my last question is, if you had like a bunch of crystals in the air, do you have to like touch the ground, or is there any kind of like internal cooldown on your is it the rush? No. The thing that like dashes you to a crystal?
Yes, there's no cooldown on that. So there's no cooldown on the rush skill. There is a cooldown on Impale, which spawns the crystal, but there is no cooldown on the rush skill. So like in a boss like Gloom, let's see if I can get the crystals to spawn.
So you could dash like a bunch of crystals like back to back to back.
Yes. So so Shardbreaker guarantees crystals to spawn. Let's see if they're in the air. Unlucky. So let's say I had a crystal up here or something, like I can dash to this, and then this one in the corner.
Jesus, it really just is Aurelia.
Yeah.
Like
so like normally when I'm hitting Gloom, like crystals will start spawning. Yeah, so like for example, this one here, like I can dash to it and then flash jump after like this, so I can cover a little bit more distance. But yeah, there's no cooldown on the dash.
Okay, that's sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, the mobility looks really good.
Nice.
It looks really good. I mean, obviously, I'm gonna have to probably like get my hands on it to try it, but this is one of the classes that I haven't even created. Like one of the few classes that I literally don't even have at like level 1 created yet. So I'm gonna have to like mess around with it a little bit, probably to feel.
I think ADELE is a really, really fun class. So,
honestly, like it's super popular. So yeah, I have to imagine that it's not popular for no reason.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about your survivability then. So anything in your kit that allows you to, I mean, you talked about a little bit of it already, but just go through that plus more, anything that allows you to like stand in places where you would normally take like damage or you wouldn't normally want to stand.
I guess we don't have that much, but we do have this skill called Ether Guard. So this skill is very similar to Ho Young's like iframe, where they sit in the painting, in terms of that if you hold it for a shorter duration, you get a reduced cooldown. But the thing about it is, it only iframes like the first half second to 1 second of skills that hit you. Realistically, it's supposed to only attack or only iframe one attack, but with ping and like lag, it can iframe more than that.
Okay.
Which is pretty interesting. So right now it says the cooldown is 60 seconds, but it says key can be held up to 8 seconds, right? So if you just tap it, it will actually be, I think, 32 seconds if you have nothing, like no cooldown hat, no hyper. We'll get into that in a second. Okay. No cooldown hat, no hyper, 32-second cooldown just by tapping the skill. If you have this hyper activated, it's an extra 2 seconds on the keydown time, which means that it's extra cooldown reduction. So instead of 8 seconds, it'll be 10 seconds. And each second you don't hold it down, it's an extra 3.5% or 3.5 seconds of extra cooldown reduction.
Okay.
So with this hyper skill, it gets reduced by an extra 7 seconds. And then with my -4 hat, it gets reduced by an extra 4 seconds on top of that. So I actually have a 20-second iframe, like on demand.
Yeah, okay.
But like right now, I kind of have all my hypers in the damage, so I don't have this. But basically, this is another thing about ADELE. You need to know the boss mechanics in order to like iframe anything.
Yeah.
So I don't know, we can go into like any boss. So like let's go into Dark now. Like let's say he's about to swing at me. Or I can iframe that like this. So it says guard and you get iframe. So the difference between our iframe and Ho Young's iframe is that it won't stick us in a position. So we can jump iframe as well like this. Oh wait, I have it on cooldown. But like we can jump iframe and jump and hold it, and then it will iframe like things going through.
Yeah, like your momentum doesn't stop.
Yeah, it doesn't stop. So it's also really, really useful if I want to get out of like a dangerous situation.
Yeah.
I can like jump iframe like this.
Yep.
And iframe through things and like be in like maybe a safer location or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. So another thing about the iframe is that it also like animation cancels cleave, our main attack skill, or anything basically, except our origin. But it is an animation cancel, which could be useful for very niche cases, but you won't be using it as an animation cancel at all. Like you'll be using it for like blocking dangerous attacks.
Yep.
And then the other skill that we have for survivability is true nobility, that green thing. We call it green Benny. It doesn't really do anything, but we call it green Benny because it looks like a Benny. But I can show you sort of how that works. So like when I take damage, it will. Let me wait for the sword to come in because that's really like where it kind of shines, or like best demonstration, I guess. So yeah. How do I cast this skill? All right, let me just press it. Okay. Oh, that was an FMA. But
Awkward.
Shit, I forgot that thing was gonna one-shot me. But yeah, so basically, if I had that shield on there, I could just stand in it, and then you could see like the shield like soaking up damage. But like, realistically.
So wait, hover the skill. Let me see what let me see what it does.
Yeah. So it creates a shield. 80% of your HP or something like that, or proportionate to the amount of damage that you take.
Okay.
It's like, it's not really that good. It's nothing like Mihail at all. Like, it's like the Timu version of anything that Mihail has.
Yeah.
So.
And you pretty much just use that when you're bursting.
Yeah. So like, let's say X Lotus, like I'll be able to tank like the big arm that comes down with that on. Or I can tank like the floor FMA if I have like a shield already there, sort of thing. But it's also on a 3-minute cooldown. Like it's not used for survivability at all. It's basically only used for burst.
Yeah.
So it's kind of meh. It's not something I would rely on for survivability, basically.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
It's there. Yeah. But then, as I mentioned with the hyper ability, like it gives us an extra 15% damage if we do have a shield present during burst. So I will take a hit probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that basically sums up our survivability. But most of it, in my opinion, is knowing the boss and then using our movement to get around things.
Yeah.
So our movement actually allows us to escape a lot of mechanics. And still maintain like really high damage uptime.
For sure.
So if I were to rate survivability, I would put either
you can't count mobility in this.
Okay, then it's just like probably because the 20-second iframe is really, really good. I think to be fair, there are other classes with way better survivability. I think I'd stick it in like a B.
Okay.
Because realistically, the only thing we have is Ether Guard.
Yeah. An iframe that can be pretty short. Wait, so how long can you hold it for? You can hold it for...
You can hold it down for 8 seconds, but with this one, you can hold it down for an extra 2 seconds.
Okay.
But if you read the skill, it only iframes like the moment you're attacked. The first hit. Everything else is just a damage reduction.
Okay, wait, how much damage reduction?
Hold it down...
41%.
56% or something. 41... Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
I don't know. Basically, but you won't be holding this at all.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be holding it.
Yeah.
It's not a reliable skill to hold down.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you just tap it like if something's about to hit you, like Kalos FMA, things like that, you can iframe it, or like if there are arrows coming from like the right system, you can jump iframe through all the arrows, which is pretty nice. Or like most of the arrows, it probably won't last for all the arrows, but you can get a decent chunk of it done.
Someone said Infinity is an iframe? Which one's Infinity?
Yes, so our burst is an iframe for the first 3 seconds and the last 3 seconds.
Okay.
So when I cast it, while the screen is basically white, and a little bit after, you're iframed. And then after, when the skill like goes away, you're also iframed. So the screen will flash again, and then you'll be iframed. So that was another thing. I guess I forgot to mention about the burst order. Like some people like to cast Infinity and then sequence, because when you press Infinity first and then the sequence, the entirety of the sequence buffing will be inside the Infinity iframe.
Okay.
So, which is pretty neat.
Yeah.
But it's not something that's going to save your life, basically.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, someone said you have a heal? Something heals 10% HP?
I mean, we have heal on Legacy, but like, I don't really
That's
rely on
also
that
just
as a
something that
heal.
you're using. Like, a lot of this stuff is just stuff that you're using on your burst.
Yeah, exactly. And then we have like this passive skill that like increases. It's like somewhere, I don't know where it is. It's one of these skills.
So you
that
have like
will to live. Yeah,
because
so,
of all of these like kind of it's like passive survivability stuff on your burst. It's making your burst a little bit safer, but like that's that's it.
But it's not gonna save you from anything if you tank stuff though. That's the thing. It's not like like as you said, like it's not something that I can just sit there and just like tank everything.
Yeah.
Like it's not gonna save you.
Yeah.
It might in some cases save you, sure. Maybe like the 10% heal procs and then like you tank another hit and then like you're saved. But like it's not something you can rely on, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's I don't really count it as like, oh yeah, that's part of our survivability. Like
I think B is fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, we'll leave it at that. All right, let's move on. Let's talk about your rotation a little bit. We can kind of just like skim through this part really quickly because I honestly think you did a pretty bang up job of like getting into the nitty gritty for both your burst and your like off burst.
Yeah.
Maybe for this one, if you just want to go like into a boss and talk us through your like 3 minutes of a boss fight, your first 3 minutes.
Yeah, I can go through like what's going on in my head.
Yeah.
Okay. So before I go in, 6 swords out, and then you can prep your fatal or whatever before going in. So like for X Lotus specifically, if I have boss node, I like to wait for it to be done. So like right before it expires to go in. So at times when it comes back, or it comes back when my origin is up and my burst is up.
Yeah.
After I prep everything. So it's about to go away. I go in. So the very first thing you do, you cast Grave Proclamation. Boom, Grave, and then Resonance Rush deep, Resonance Rush buff. Summon 6 swords out. Will Saren, and then this. And then I'm not going to cast any iframe here, so I can get the shield. You can see the shield right there. And then Origin. So I casted everything, and then I Origin. So now I just cast everything off cooldown. I'm watching these. Arms are coming, so I'm just going to Jenny that. I forgot to bind, but like basically Jenny here. I can just sit for a little bit. Gather Boom off cooldown. Magic Dispatch. Rain. I'm gonna dodge that, come back here. So in X Lotus, I like playing off to the side because the stun only appears between the 2 eyes, so I like playing like right here. So as you can see just now, like in order to stay in this position, I use Plummet to just come back to there.
Yep.
So here I just, I just sit here, right? And then I can just float, let that come in. So another thing is binded flash jump. ADELE has a binded flash jump that we can use. So this allows us to jump slightly lower like this, as you can see, like this. And faster. So it's really useful for dodging debris in phase 2 as well. So make sure I have 6 swords out at all times and always just hitting the boss. I can Resonance Rush out of that, Gather Bloom when the shield is down, and then, I don't know, like Ruin Shardbreaker off cooldown. Dodge these. There's a thing there, a debris, so I'm just gonna go back to where it's safe. So I'm just gonna cast stuff off cooldown.
Sure.
Yeah, so basically, like, always be casting stuff off cooldown here.
Yep.
Rain of Destruction, Magic Dispatch, Gather Bloom. Keep the upkeep on Resonance Rush debuff. Dash out of the laser. Yeah, so this is it. Just Gather Bloom. So a lot of it is actually also jump attacking as well. So as you can see just now, like, I did a little jump, and then I also like impaled back like this.
Yep.
To get away from things, to go to a safer area. Gather Bloom off cooldown, Rain of Destruction off cooldown. I'll float up here. I'll trigger one of the things up there, and then I'll go and trigger the other ones. Again, dash to get out of that. Just cast things off cooldown. I mean, I haven't really been doing that, but like, I guess I'm also trying to like explain a bunch of
Yeah,
things.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, so this is basically it. We can float over this, and then I'll plummet back down. Plummet to keep my positioning. If I wanted to come over here and then like do this, I can. Come back down. Float so I can keep attacking. Jump over this, go this way, and dodge some arms. Float over that, feather float to dodge the robots. Dash out of that. So basically, I'm probably just gonna burst once the shield is over.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll jump up, plummet down to trigger 1 bot, trigger 2 bots, 3 bots. Dash to get out of that. And then once shield goes down, sequence, infinity, ace sword, storm, ruin, shardbreaker, gather bloom, rain. I frame that. You can see the guard popped up there. I'm just gonna Jenny iframe this. Try not to forget to bind this time. So I'm gonna bind when there's 10 seconds left on the burst, so I guarantee that my whole burst goes off without a shield popping up. Bind now. Dash out of that. Gather bloom. And then rain. So yeah, that's basically it. Yeah. And then
Kind of crazy.
I guess I could do this as well. I'll come back down to that crystal. Like I noticed that crystal is there, so it's something I could use. Float. I can go this way, and then this way.
We moving.
And then yeah. Like there's more stuff in phase 2 actually. I mean, you'll see most of like the movement come out in phase 3 when like there's a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah.
Like, phase 2, I'm instantly gonna start off with this and then summon my swords out again. Gather bloom off cooldown. Like this, I like to do this and then I can feather float back into the boss to dodge debris. And then just jump attack. So I noticed there's a crystal to the left and the right. To dodge the laser, I'll just use one of the crystals.
Yeah.
I can't even see him. I can't even see him do the kick. But here, feather float.
Are you trying to tell me you don't normally play with max effects on this class?
Maybe not. Yeah, so whenever I see the laser coming in, I'll just resonance rush out of it. So this is pretty free, and now you can just hit him.
Yeah.
Like I move over here, resonance rush into that crystal. Oh, yeah. And then basically just jump around. I can't even see the platform. Jump up, come down with a resonance rush maybe. Look, this is like the core of ADELE's movement.
Yeah.
Come back. Jump away, feather float back, plummet down for extra damage.
All right. Well, I think you're good. I don't know if you have to finish the rest of it. That pretty much.
No.
Yeah, that pretty much shows off
Well,
like enough to get the gist. Obviously, there's probably like a lot of really cool movement tricks and stuff that you can do to like really keep the uptime. But just in terms of like seeing the damage in like a real scenario.
So like I think so the most important part about ADELE is realizing exactly where your crystals are, so you know what your movement options are. Yeah. Because this is ADELE's bread and butter. This dash. Yeah. Right. So knowing where those are and knowing your options is probably the most important part in a boss. Yeah. Basically, and I think that's what people need to get used to when first picking up ADELE. Is that? Yeah. Okay. Like if you can know that and you can see where you're going, like you'll realize that like your ADELE gameplay becomes a lot better. Yeah. Okay, so give me a rating for this in your personal biased opinion of like basically how much you enjoy the class's rotation and playstyle. Oh yeah, this is an S tier class. I mean we all saw that coming, let's be honest. like I've played my other mules and I'm like, damn, dude, on my ADELE I could do this and I could get out. Like, like I'd be like, oh, ADELE, I could just plummet here and I just stay. Like, it's just so much better. I don't know. Like the movement you can do in this class just makes it so fun to play.
Yeah.
Like damage uptime can be so high because of that.
Yeah.
So for me, completely biased, obviously S tier rotation.
Yeah. It does look really fun. I'm just gonna be honest.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about, even if you don't think it's particularly difficult, what do you think are some of the hardest things for a new ADELE player to pick up when like trying to get good at the class?
So the hardest things is micromanaging the swords and micromanaging probably like, you know, the other things that I mentioned, Resonance Rush and casting these things off cooldown. Because like we have like quite a few short cooldown skills that we need to cast off cooldown. So remembering to do all of that is quite overwhelming at the start. So for new players to ADELE, it will be pretty difficult. And then also, as I mentioned previously, with like knowing what movement options we have, because we have a lot: TP, high rise, this one, high rise, binded flash jump, resonance rush. You can chain it or you can use crystals. Like knowing what to use in different situations can be a little bit difficult.
Yeah.
And overwhelming. So that's probably the difficult core about ADELE.
Yeah. It also has a lot, I'm just going to say, it has a lot of keybinds.
Yeah. So like Gather Bloom is 2 keybinds. Impale and Resonance Rush is 2 keybinds, and then we have like, you know, this movement skill, this movement skill, this movement skill, the summon our swords, 60-second skills, iframe, 90-second skill, our bind, we have a class bind, so I use 2 binds. But luckily a lot of skills were removed because of sequence. Like holy shit. A lot of skills were removed. And then we have Magic Dispatch sitting over here as well. So like there's a lot of stuff. A lot of buttons to be pressing, but it's nothing like a blaster or something where you're like playing the piano on your keyboard or like a piano. So
all right, so give me a rating for what you think the difficulty of the class is in order to like perform average. Like not to min max, but like just be good enough, you know?
I think probably like a solid A. And like the higher the letter, the harder it is.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, correct.
Yeah, probably a strong A.
Okay.
If you want to play this class like at a, you know, like a good level, like there's a lot of things to pick up.
Yeah.
So I'd say it's an A.
That seems fair.
Yeah.
That seems totally fair. All right. Let's talk about your party support. So what kind of stuff do you bring to a group that increases their damage or survivability or their whatever, any kind of utility, like anything?
Yeah, we bring nothing. We are a pure DPS class. We bring nothing to the table.
Okay.
Yeah.
Roger that.
And then, like, back in the day, maybe this class could have been considered F tier because of our burst setup. Now it's not that bad, but our burst setup would like delay like a Bishop's Benny or something. But like now it's like fine for the most part. But I think whatever the worst one is, D tier probably for party play because we do nothing. Like,
zero, absolutely nothing means D tier. Yep, I'm just gonna call a spade. All good. So you play this class to do damage, not to be a team player.
It's okay when our green Benny True Nobility does damage for the party, then y'all will come calling.
All right, so let's talk about your Hexa then. So maybe if you could just go through the masteries and talk about how they kind of affect your gameplay or the way that your skills interact with each other.
So our masteries don't really change the way we play, but everything gets boosted. So like this boosts cleave, magic dispatch, the manual one and the auto one. Like there's 2 right there.
Okay.
One's for the manual, one's for the auto. So it boosts those 3. This one will boost the swords and that fly around and shard breaker. No, this one's plummet. This one boosts plummet and hunting decree. So it looks a little bit better. This one boosts Impale, which summons the crystal, the Rush, which goes to the crystal, and then it enhances Gather and Bloom as well.
Okay.
So that's what this one does. This is the Gather Bloom node, and then this one is our Aether Forge Shardbreaker node. It also boosts Rain of Destruction, but the two important ones are Aether Forge and Shardbreaker.
Okay.
So that's cool. And then another thing to note is that some people like to leave their skills at level 29. I know of a pretty famous ADELE who did this for a long time.
Okay.
But at level 29, the skill cooldown on the manual magic dispatch gets reduced. So at level 30. So if you're gonna level this, do not leave it at 29, push it to 30. So yeah, because that cooldown gets reduced. And also, this is more quality of life, but when you level up this mastery, the duration of our swords that fly around increases up to 60 seconds. So I think before it was, where is this skill anyway? This one. So before it was only 40 seconds, but if you max out this skill, it becomes 60 seconds.
Okay.
Yeah, this skill right here, Hunting Decree. So if you max it out, it increases an extra 20 seconds from 40 to 60. And then the last thing is Legacy Restoration. So when you level up this skill, it actually also gives a final damage increase to our burst. Max is 10% final damage at level 28.
Oh,
so if you're leveling skills, each like upgrade, I mean, okay, it only levels up the final damage increase every 3 levels. So every 2 levels, it's a useless upgrade. But on that 3rd level, it's a huge chunk because it increases final damage by 10 or by 1% per every 3.
Yeah.
But at level 28, it caps out at 10. So pushing the last 2 levels for anyone that's just like making this class for fun, like useless.
Yeah.
I think I gained like 0.001% FD for pushing this to 30. Like it's nothing.
Okay.
So yeah, level 28 max final damage increases 10% here, which is really useful. Because like I was watching like my old ADELE videos back in the day, and something that I would do would be to cast Legacy Restoration like way before I casted Infinity. But like after that came out, I was like, oh wait, like maybe I shouldn't be doing that because like both are 30-second durations, so I need that final damage to last across the entire burst, right? So
yeah.
You should always cast everything together with Legacy Restoration now because of that. So yeah, that's just something to keep in mind.
Okay. So
other than that, like
what's the damage gain like on just like unlocking?
It's pretty minimal, I would say. It's pretty minimal. I think when you first unlock skills, like let's say I unlock this node, it's only like 2% FD. This one you'll gain a lot because Shardbreaker gets boosted, and Shardbreaker is actually stronger than Infinity in practical bossing, which is crazy. It does more damage than our burst skill over the course of like a boss.
Okay.
So this one will do a lot of damage, and also Aether Forge gets boosted, right? So yeah, the damage gain for ADELE though is like really, really linear. There's like no peaks in terms of like you hit this checkpoint like level 10, like you get a lot of damage. Like that's not the case for ADELE. So yeah, it's just really, really linear. It doesn't really like unlocking them should be enough for like a boss mule, let's say.
Yeah. Not
necessarily a Legion champ though, but like for boss mule, unlocking them will give you like a decent amount of damage, but like nothing to scoff at or anything.
So because of that, I assume that like ADELE is like pretty balanced all the way up through like 5th job. Like it performs pretty well without being 6th job.
Yeah, if you just had without 6th job, like it's still a really strong class. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So with all that in mind, what would you give the ranking for this class's like power gain from just unlocking everything in your Hexa?
Probably like a C, average.
Okay.
If that's average. Yeah. Yeah, you don't really need to push any, like there's no checkpoints that you need to push for basically.
So because the gain is linear, it's kind of like I guess I have to assume that the class is kind of just what you make of it, right? Like you can invest as many frags as you want, and it'll just like you'll get what you give, right? Like
yeah, basically. I guess the only skill with like spikes is legacy restoration. For each 3 levels, you get an extra 1% FD on bursts. That's about it. And then origin. I guess our origin is a nuke. Our origin is really strong.
The origin's really good.
But you just get that by getting 6 job anyway. It's not something you have to invest in really.
All right. I'll bump it up
like
to
a
a B
meal
because the
ice.
origin damage is really good.
Yeah, our origin does a lot of damage.
All right. Dope. Okay, let's talk about farming. So,
Yeah.
in particular, what I want to know is what it's like farming without, you know, what you have, which I assume is like 3 Janus orbs. So, like with Janus level 1,
Yeah.
early Grandis, what are we looking like?
Let me go into training. Yes, okay. So let's say you had nothing, and you were just training. So basically ADELE is like, you go in a rectangle basically. So like, let's say for this map, I put like my fountain up there, and then let me pop a green pot. You should farm with a green pot, by the way, on ADELE if you're doing this. Okay. So it will look like this. I'll just go around like this, and then Resonance Rush up like that, and then go around in a circle, come back down, and then continue. So this is basically what it looks like. So at the start with like level 1 Janus, you would probably be using Dusk or whichever one like spawns the things.
Yeah.
So it helps you clear mobs if you miss it like that. So it looks like this for the most part. With Hexa Cleave, it makes it easier because it's a big ass skill. Like it can quad platform sometimes, depending on like the spread on that. But it's a big skill. But yeah, Cleave covers a lot. It can hit like above and below platforms as well. So if like mobs were like to spawn here, like I can hit like the mobs below as well. Yeah, which is pretty neat. But yeah, this is how it would look like. This is how I was farming pre 6 job basically.
Is there any kind of like lazy farming that you would be able to do, or is it mostly gonna look like this?
This is the laziest.
Damn.
But like I think there's one map somewhere here in Burning Cernium where if you have like level 1 Janus for the Dusk, I think it's called, you can put your fountain here, and then you can kind of just stand here and summon swords out, and then it should full clear. I don't know where the so we'll do that, and you can just summon swords out like this, and then like cleave to refill the gauge, and then like Dusk will kind of just like clean things up. Swords will fly around to clean things up.
Wait,
so
how do you get the gauge back
AFK
when you're doing this?
Cleave. So our
so
trigger skills will refill the gauge.
Okay.
So every once in a while, like you cleave to get the swords back in the gauge, but you can just stand here, and then like you'll get most of it off. You can also bloom without gathering, and it'll cover like a big chunk of the map. Shard Breaker will also cover a big chunk of the map as well. Okay. Yeah. This is probably the most AFK you're gonna be. Yeah. Without like 3 Janus orbs. So, but if you're not doing this, then you're rectangular farm. You're doing this. And then you jump up and you go around.
So this is like if this is a class you want to farm on, this is like a spec into Janus early kind of class.
Yeah, at least get Janus level 1 for the Dusk, so like it makes it slightly easier, like you clear more. At Janus 10 you can be pretty AFK already with the 2 balls. Like if I went to this map, I actually haven't tried this map with Fountain, but like normally what I would do is I would put I would put a ball here, put a ball here, and then I guess you can put like Fountain like here, and then Hexa Cleave will just do this. So with 2 balls you can just like sort of stand here, and then Aether Forge can also cover it. So like if you plummet, you can also cover a lot with Aether Forge as well. So like this is with 2 balls, right? It's AFK. Yep. With like certain maps, obviously. But yeah, with 1 ball, I don't think you can AFK yet. So like, if you're below 1 ball, if you're below 2 balls, use the Dusk, and then once you hit 2 balls, then you can do something like this. Okay. Because Hexa Cleave covers a big ass area, basically.
So like at the very least, it's like 1 button every wave.
Yeah.
At the very least.
Or you can like press swords. Like I know there's like a way you can summon swords out that can keep like proccing things. But I think you need 3 balls for that to cover, like if you're not gonna cleave, basically. Yeah. But Yeah, that's basically it. Let's say you're in, you press cleave. every
Okay.
wave.
All right. Well, be honest. What would you rank the farming on ADELE with, like, let's say with Janus level 1?
Probably C tier. It's average. Like,
Yeah.
it's nothing. It's like not bad. It's like pretty simple in terms of like if you can just do this,
Yeah.
right?
Just flash jump, spam one button.
Yeah. That. So, because cleave is a big skill, so it's not a small skill, so it's like pretty good.
Yeah.
But yeah, probably B tier.
All
I
right.
think a little slightly above average.
Yeah. You can go up. Give a B. All right. All right. Yeah, we can give a B.
Yeah. Yeah, and cleave does a lot of damage too, so like you don't really need that much investing to be able to one shot mobs.
Okay.
Which is
Yeah,
good.
that's good too then.
Yeah.
All right. Well, last section. Let's quickly talk about what you think about these animations. So before you give me your opinion on what I assume is how much you're gonna love, because everyone loves what this class looks like. Can you take off your V-Matrix nodes and show me what the skills look like without your masteries?
Yeah. So how do I do that? So we have 5 boost nodes, by the way. So 5 boost node class.
Okay.
So this is cleave. You can really see like the 3 different animations that we have. It's like slightly smaller, less detailed, I guess, but it's still pretty cool.
Yep.
It's not bad. What's the other thing? So we also have, actually, let me go to dojo so I can get swords out. And yeah, another thing about the swords is that there needs to be a targetable monster on the map in order to summon swords out.
You can't even just summon them to float around.
Yeah, you can. Let me just set this to, okay. So, oh, I don't have my toggle thing. So this is our swords.
Mhm.
And this is plummet. This is impale. This is dash. So a lot of things in 6-job like gives more vibrance and color, I guess.
Yeah.
In terms of the animation. What's another thing that I got? This is sharp breaker. So it looks smaller. It's more blue. You can't really see Ether Forge, but like it's like that little figure 8 thing that just appeared. Yeah, it's kind of hard to see, but if you notice it, like it's there. It's like pretty small too.
Okay.
What else got boosted? Rain, the skill. So the thing about Rain, I'm about to mention this in Hexa, but like at the end of Rain, it will pop up and like do additional damage at the end, like that just now. Like all the swords came out of the ground and it did extra damage.
Uh-huh.
So one of the thing about that is that it puts you in combat again, so it's really hard for ring swapping. But with the Hexa boost, it removes that end animation, so you don't get put in combat again.
Okay.
Which is interesting. Yeah. And this is Magic Dispatch, or oh, I'm on the wrong buttons, but this is Magic Dispatch. The swords just look pretty tiny and like that's it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so those are all the skills, I'm pretty sure. And oh, I guess we can do gather. So this is gather and bloom. That's how that looks like. And the funny thing is, like, they boosted gather before bloom, so like the colors were like or they boosted the swords before bloom, so the swords would change color, but when it bloomed, like the color would be like super off. So it was like really weird for a little bit. But yeah, and then I guess I can put everything back on and then show that again. So this is cleave. We have the Hexa cleave, the big one, every like 5 seconds, and then like the hitbox is slightly bigger with cleave. And our swords, where are my toggles, man? All right, our swords come out like they have like this cooler trail. They're more purple and stuff. And then here's gather bloom. So everything has this like more purplish color to it. And then sharp breaker, it's like slightly bigger and it's like this wider, more crystalline color. Here's impale again with like that purple theme. And rush is just looks like a bigger skill as well. Here's rain of destruction. So skill looks a little bit different, and then at the end of the skill, like nothing happens, which is interesting. Yeah. And then this is plummet. So it's just like it looks bigger, I guess.
Yeah.
And you can actually, oh, that's Ether Forge right there. This is actually a good way to show Ether Forge. This big ass bloom right here.
Oh, yeah,
If you saw
I
that.
see it now.
Yeah, this is Ether Forge. It's hard to see it when it's overlapped with Cleave.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is our Ether Forge. So it becomes a lot bigger, actually. Ether Forge. So, yeah.
Yeah, everything looks really good.
Yeah.
Like even
No, this is definitely a very
pre masteries,
well-designed
it still looks good, but obviously it looks better with masteries unlocked.
Yeah.
Yeah, this shit's sick.
Yeah, this is beautiful blue class, basically.
Yeah. All right, so give me your biased personal opinion on the ranking for what you think about the animations.
Easily S tier for
Yeah.
animations.
Yeah,
Easily
yeah,
S tier.
yeah. Yeah,
Like with the
I think
sword
most
fire
people would
and
agree
stuff,
with
like, I
that.
don't
It
know,
looks
man.
really cool.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool that
Yeah,
the
I think
swords,
easily S
like,
tier.
when you're bursting, the swords make almost like a flower. There's just like so many of them. It just like it looks like a giant flower. Like it's super
Yeah.
cool.
I don't have Infinity Binded, but I can bring that back. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
So, I love like the figure eights that it makes. You
Yep.
know, like the boss. Like it looks super cool. Like, let me just not cleave. Like that just looks sick.
Yep.
So S tier easily. For
Yeah, the class
animations.
looks amazing. You can't argue that it doesn't.
Yeah.
I guess maybe if you play with animations on, it's like a little too much.
Oh yeah, you won't be able
but
to see
like,
shit.
yeah,
You won't be able to see anything.
but like, yeah, it looks so good. It looks so good. Okay, well, with that pretty much covers everything that I normally want to talk about. I will open up the floor. Chat, if you have any questions while we have CHUAZ here. A lot of people have been asking what or I guess like TLDR, how your class is going to be affected by the 2-minute patch.
So ADELE is eating for the 2-minute patch. Like we gain a lot of damage. Like instead of like getting so our current burst duration is 30 seconds. Come 2 minutes, it just gets cut down to 20 seconds with like no change in like the overall damage output. Also, this skill Ruin, which was like really shit, gets like a huge buff come 2-minute changes.
Okay.
So that's super cool to look forward to. Storm also gets a huge buff because it gets reduced to 60 seconds when nothing changes. What else? And then recent KMST updates makes the class even easier. So you know how I was describing, like when we summon our swords, they go to us.
Yep.
But if we have a mark on the boss, it will actually go to the boss instead of coming back to us. So really, really good for new ADELE players. They don't have to focus on playing on the boss too much. They can play away and gather. The swords will go to the boss instead of me. They're removing the buff that we get from Resonance Rush and making it passive. And then also they're removing, or not removing, but significantly reducing the action delay on all of our skills. So after the KMST updates, like this class will be like giga fluid.
Yeah.
Like it's gonna be so good to be moving around on.
Okay. That's kind of sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they're also increasing cleave hit speed as well, so it's gonna hit a lot faster than this.
Damn, so it's actually just like way up, like everything.
Yeah. And then we get a dash like all classes do. So we don't really need to use this, but I like using it. I'll probably still use it more than the dash, to be honest.
Yeah.
But we get a dash. So yeah,
Sick.
ADELE is going to be giga up.
Now's the
when
time.
2-minute changes come.
Now's the time
Yeah.
making ADELE. Yep.
Because I played this class when it was down in the dumps, and I've seen this class grow throughout the years. Yeah.
Okay, what about ping? Does ping affect anything with the class?
No, because I go to Singapore a lot, and I play it without like exit lag or anything. So like I'm playing that shit on 200 ping, and it's fine. It feels perfectly fine.
Okay.
Actually, it might be a little bit of a buff, to be honest, because like with Ether Guard, when you press the skill, it might actually guard more things because the iframe might last a little bit longer. So it might be a slight buff too. But
positively affected by ping.
Yeah, positively affected by high ping. But they're changing it so that it's a guaranteed 1 second iframe in the 2-minute changes or whatever. So guaranteed to have a 1 second iframe when you press the skill, basically.
Okay.
Yeah. But ping, no effect, guard, only positive benefits. So yeah.
Okay. Someone said, where does Arachnid and Solar Crest go in rotation? I assume at the beginning.
Yeah, so it's like when I go in, it will be Proclamation, debuff, summon 6 swords out, and then Will and turn. And then everything else comes in. I just pop it at the start.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. I think that's mostly it. Someone was asking, dude, I don't want to ask him that. That's actually so mean. I don't want to
probably
ask
asking about the book, right? They're probably
yeah,
talking
they're
about
asking. They want me to ask about the book. That's so, dude. That's so BM.
I don't have a book, but I'm clearing all the content in the game. What are you talking about?
He doesn't need a book.
Y'all wish you could. All right, yeah, but imagine being 8 set without a book.
I don't know, bro.
I mean, I have a badge, so I'm technically an 8 set, but...
Books are the only thing that drop for me, so I don't know. I can't relate.
I wish, dude. I wish.
It's the only shit I ever see. Every week I kill Will and that fucking thing explodes rainbow, and I'm like, you son of a bitch! I don't need any more of these.
Hey man, you can pass it to me.
Honestly, I would if I could. I would if I could. Soon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe one day.
Surely, tradable pitch.
Yeah, one day. All right. Well, I think that pretty much covers it, and we can let you go. I appreciate you taking the time and preparing as much as you did.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, W's for our boy here, everyone. Clappies in the chat. Thank you, man. Any final words for any potential future ADELE players?
Pick up the class. Like, it's getting a lot easier than what I've explained today. So if you like the aesthetic, it does good damage, it's got good movement, like, you're gonna have fun if you pick up this class. That's it. Like, that's all I can say. Yeah.
Okay. There you go, guys. You heard it. Oh, sorry. People have been asking a lot if your class is... if it would be a good choice for a Legion champion or like a mule.
For a boss mule, I would say no, just because like there's just too much stuff to like pick up on if you just want to like play it once every week. But if it's like a second main sort of Legion champ, like if you're pushing this class, like I would recommend it. Like it's really good, it's really fun, it's getting giga buffs. It's gonna be easy to play. Like, yeah, this class is super strong. Great mobility. You know, it's a very, as I said like earlier, it's a very, very well-rounded class. It does everything that you want it to do. Yep. And just everything is above average for this class, basically. All right. So, yeah, well, for sure. If you want to make this a champ, go right on ahead. I won't stop you.
All right, there you go, guys. All right, brother. Well, I will let you go. Thank you so much. You're the GOAT. Thanks for stepping in when you know who Ding Dong was doing whatever the hell he's been doing. I don't know.
It's all good. Yeah, of course, of course.
All right, man. We'll talk soon. I'll let you go. Happy wapping. And honestly, if there's one last thing that I could try to bestow my blessings upon you for, it would be a book drop in your very near future.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. For sure.
All right, bro.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for having me on. Appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll talk soon.
Yep. Peace.
Later.
Good stream.
Damn, what a nice guy. What a nice guy. I don't want to sound like a broken record, bro. I just feel like at the end of every interview, I'm just like enamored. Is that the right word? By whatever class that we just looked at. Like, that class is just so beautiful. You know what? I'm actually gonna be honest. I was like very, 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 very into it until we got to that survivability section, and I saw that there's really like you have to be on top of it, right? Like, you have to dodge stuff. And right now, for the next character that I want to make, that's just not it. I want to be able to just like close my eyes and clear bosses. It's not like that extreme, but yeah, I don't know. I do think it would be super, super, super fun. I don't want to like deter anyone from making it because of that. That's just me, my own personal issues with the game right now. I have so many characters that I literally can't blink while I'm playing the game because it's all about dodging. Like, a lot of my characters don't have like crazy survivability, or like tankiness, whatever you want to call it. And yeah, so for me, that is like honestly the only thing that is stopping me from making one like literally right this second. Now, that being said, that doesn't mean I'm never gonna play it. I think very much so that is something that I would enjoy, and it sounds like it's got some crazy like buffs and changes and whatever positive changes coming soon. So maybe closer to when those changes come through, I will be more inclined to make it. I don't want to write it off completely yet, but I just want to be honest. I think that class is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I also think it looks, I'm going to be honest, I think it looks really, really, really fun. Anyway, Twitch chat, thank you for being here. Thank you for being respectful and supportive of my guests as always. Thank you for participating in the community votes. Looks like there's one more community vote to fill in there. I have to assume it's going to be an S animation ranking. Like, who doesn't think that character was beautiful? YouTube, thank you for watching. I hope you learned everything that you wanted to learn about this class. I hope this either... Honestly, I actually, truthfully, I don't hope this deterred anyone from playing ADELE. I hope this was the final push that everyone watching needed to commit to the class. I truly think the class looks incredible. And if I didn't already play so many sweaty classes, I 100% would make one. And honestly, I probably will in the future. Future? That's my sign to leave. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you in the next one. Peace!